Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Nur Salihah Naimah binti Abdul Nasser, mention number 264356. So today, my group and I, Team 7, is going to present our group assignment titled Digitalisation as a New Driver of Development of Business Sector in Malaysia. We start first with introduction. Digital economy refers to economic activity that use electronic communication and digital technology to provide goods and services. Before this, we have traditional base, for example, traditional shop and cash payment such as Tesco, Giant and EconSave. As digital economy develops, some firms sold straight up from e-commerce sites such as Shopee, Lazada, eBay and GoShop. The benefit of using e-commerce is it is enable consumers to have a greater information and choice. It's easier to compare prices, easier to purchase, and able to purchase the product from other countries as well. Due to the pandemic COVID-19 restriction, consumers will increase their spending in e-commerce rather than traditional based shopping as it is easier and more safer. Next is objective. Our first objective is to identify the overview of digitalization in business sector and e-commerce. Second is to investigate the difference before and after digitalization in business establishment and e-commerce sector. And third is to determine the contribution of digitalization towards the goal becoming high-income status country. For the first discussion is the overview of digital trend in Malaysia. As you can see in this figure, it shows that percentage of internet user increased from 64.1% in 2012 to 88.7% in 2020. While there are a decreasing trend in non-internet user, which is 35.9% in 2012 to 11.3% in 2020. This means that the number of people connected to the internet is increasing by year in terms of user and also businesses. In 2020, it is expected that 80% of the country population, which is 26.7 billion people, are active in internet user with 26 million social media user and 40.7 million mobile connection. Next, as you can see in this table, device access to internet increased from 2014 to 2020 for smartphone and decreasing trend for others. For online activity favor among internet users, there is 98% in text communication, 93% in social media, 81% in video and voice communication, 87% in video, 43% in gaming, 64% in financial transactions, 65% in music, 68% in online reading, 64% for online shopping. For analysis of each group using the internet, individual in age 20 to 24, 49.5% were likely to use the internet to apply for a job application, while 56.3% were likely to use the internet to watch television online. For individual age 25 to 29, 61.5% of them favor the activity of online banking, while 45.1% are ordering goods and services through e-commerce. Individual aged 35 to 39, 32.6% were more active using the internet to use service related to travel. Individual aged 45 to 49, 21.1% were more likely to use the internet to express their view on political matters. For the internet penetration, Malaysia is the second highest internet penetration with 89% compared to Brunei, which is 97.5%, as COVID-19 pandemic has triggered an extreme spike in digital technology adoption. Malaysia total IT investment is expected to be around USD 11 billion in 2020, which is IR4, e-government and e-commerce. With this, consumers can pay using emerging digital and mobile payment technologies such as Alipay, PayPal and iPay88. As majority of Malaysian business nowadays are up to date with digitalization. Through this technology, about 52.5% of small business in Malaysia stated that their revenue increased by more than 10% of their sales.
So now move on to the second discussion, which is about analyze consumer spending on e-commerce by category. So the pie chart above illustrates consumer spending on e-commerce by category in 2020. We know that the movement control order has changed what people buy and how they buy. Based on the pie chart, we can know that consumers are spending more on fashion and beauty, which is 32%. If we see the consumer purchasing power, women are South Asia's biggest online consumer. Appropriately, 80% of the household are purchasing fashion and beauty products. Furthermore, consumers tend to be more conscious during sales periods or during any form of promotion. Besides, during the COVID-19 pandemic, all fashion stores were closed due to movement control order, which has driven consumers to make purchases online for festives. Electronic and physical media is second large among consumer goods, which is 26%. A According to iPrice report, online shoppers in the country are willing to spend on electronics for personal office use, including smartphones. The most popular electronic items are cable and converter and home appliance. Shopee 9.9 year sales saw a considerable amount of sales in home appliances like pressure cooker, air fryers, and electric ovens. The third highest consumer spending in e-commerce sites are toys, DIY, and hobbies. More than 836.6 million spent on those products. During COVID-19 pandemic, stay-at-home order has changed all our life. Parents and children are restricted to work from home and study by online. Hence, to entertain the later one, consumers start spending more on toys, DIY, and hobbies. For fourth highest consumer spending is on furniture and appliances, where more than $586.2 billion spent on these appliances. As consumers spend more time at home during COVID-19 pandemic, they started to renovate their home in order to get rid of the boredom. The fifth consumer spending in e-commerce sites is food and personal care. More than $449.1 million spent on this food and personal care. Shopee 11/11 online sales campaign in 2020 also saw a considerable number of 155,000 in beauty and personal care products being sold. To combat against the high risk of virus transmission, demand for vitamins and herbal supplements that aid in boosting the immune system have also been on the rise. For example, Ritual Supplements, Star Guardian, and High Herb. That's it from me. Thank you. Hi, my name is Vishan Devi Subramaniam, batch number 270555. So now move on to the next part, which is the total number of e-commerce application by organization. So under this topic, I will discuss about two analyses. First, about comparison of top e-commerce sites and retailer in Malaysia. The bar chart illustrates the top e-commerce sites in Malaysia by monthly traffic in 2020. Due to lockdown and other restrictions during COVID-19 pandemic, e-commerce continued to grow. It can be seen that Shopee leads the Malaysian e-commerce market as most visited e-commerce sites in Malaysia, followed by Lazada. This is because Shopee has launched a lot of monthly sales campaigns such as 3.3 mega sale, 7.7 meteor sale, and the most successful 11/11 big sales and Shopee 12/12 birthday sale, which attracts most of consumers. Besides that, due to lockdown and social distancing measures, consumers often make purchases on online shopping primarily on goods like groceries and household supplies. Lazada also had launched sales campaign to promote local sellers and products with goals to boost the country's digital lead economy recovery. Other than that, Lazada is cheaper for electronic products, while Shopee is popular for small stuff like fashion, beauty, food, and personal care products. PG Mall has become the third most visited website in Malaysia. PG Mall shows an exceptional growth in revenue in the recent months since the implementation of MCO. PG Mall has become collaborating with the local government to support local sellers. The fourth most visited e-commerce website are Zalora, and followed by eBay. During lockdown, Zalora added more essential goods to their platform to help consumers, for example, food, personal care, hygiene, and pharmaceutical goods. The sixth most visited e-commerce platform is GoShop, followed by Lelong.my and Sephora. As the GoShop e-commerce platform become popular due to advantage of having wider audience reached by their TV platform. Most existing viewers will watch the GoShop television channel before purchasing the product on the e-commerce platform. Sephora has captured the hearts of many beauty shoppers and is aggressively expanding across the world. The ninth and tenth of top e-commerce sites are WowShop and Abercrombie. WowShop is a multi-platform that sells more than 100 items, while Abercrombie is the e-commerce site for baby products that sells only top-quality natural and organic products.
Alright, hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Norliana Izzati binti Abu Yazid, metric number 261970. Alright, I will continue discussion and analysis 3.3, which is the percentage of business establishment before and after internet by sector and 5 major states. Alright, a company's sustainability is no longer contingent on its local client base because its product and service today have a global audience. The internet has altered not only a company user base but also how it deals with its staff and locate and control competitors. Aside from web presence, Malaysian business establishments use the internet mostly to communicate, access financial service and get information. Okay. Based on the pie chart, the percentage of business establishment before and after the internet by sector, as we can see that the existence of the internet is very helpful in the development of the business world. In 2010, the percentage of business establishment in before internet by agriculture sector is 35%, and after the advent of the internet, the percentage increased 15% in 2015, which it is been 50% for agriculture sector. Furthermore, the service sector in 2010 was 18% of business establishment before the internet, and it increased 41% in 2015, which is increased to 59% after the internet comes into the business world. In addition, for the construction and mining and quarrying sector, it was 44% and 42% in 2010. Both sectors have also increased after the internet come into the business world to 68% and 77% in 2015. Lastly, for the manufacturing sector, it was 29% business establishment before the internet and increased 60% in 2015 to 89% business establishment after internet, and it was the highest percentage increase among the other four sectors in business establishment. Okay, next, based on the graph, which is the percentage of business establishment in before and after internet by five major states in 2010 and 2015. As we can see that Penang had the highest improvement of business establishment in before and after internet, which is 15% in 2010 and 80% in 2015. It's become increased to 65% of business establishment in after the internet. Besides, Putrajaya was the less development among the other four major states, which is 38% in 2010 and 77% in 2015. The increase for the state is only 39% of business establishment after the internet. However, for the other three major states, which is Melaka, Selangor and Kuala Lumpur, just an equivalent increase. For Melaka, the business establishment before the internet was 13% in 2010 and increased 52% to 65% in 2015 after the internet come in. While the Selangor business establishment in before internet is 27% in 2010 and increased 50% to 79% in 2015 after the internet comes in. And for the last major state, which is Kuala Lumpur, is 30% in 2010 before internet, and their business establishment in increased 55% to 85% in 2015 after internet comes into business world of Malaysia. Alright, that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Hakimi bin Muhammad Sabri. So, my number matric is 270242. Now, I'm gonna discuss about the 3.4, which is income and expenditure of e-commerce. In this discussion, we're gonna talk about the whole income and expenditure, the type of market, and the type of customer. So, we're gonna take a look from 2015 to 2017. So, for the overall income and expenditure in 2015 and 2017, the income in 2015 is 389 billion and 2017 is 447 billion. For the expenditure is in 2015 is 196 billion and in 2017 is 228 billion. So the percentage of increasing for income is 50.06%, and for the expenditure is increased by 60.7%. Now we go to the type of market. There's two type of market, which is a domestic market and international market. We're gonna go first in domestic market. In domestic market, the income from in 2015 is 356 billion, and in 2017 is 399 billion. For the expenditure in 2015 is 174 billion, and in 2017 is 202 billion. So the percentage of increasing for the income is 12.02%, and for the expenditure is increasing by 60.55%. So in the international market, we see that the income in 2015 is 41 billion, and 2017 is 48 billion. For the expenditure, the income is 21 billion in 2015 and 26 billion in 2017. So the percentage of increase for the expenditure is more than the percentage of increase for income, because in expenditure the increase of the percentage is 26.22%, while the income is 16.22%. Now we move on to the income and expenditure by the type of customer. There's a three type of customer, which is B2B, B2C, and B2G. Business to business, business to consumer, and business to government. So we go to the income first. For the income by the type of customer, we can see all the from the 2015 to 2017 all is increasing, and the most of income increasing is in B2G, which is 42.39%. Now we go to the expenditure by the type of customer, and as we can see also, the most expenditure by the type of customer is on B2G, which is increasing by 79.41%, and the second of the most is B2B, business to business, which is 16.45%. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you.
My name is Awijian, matrix number 269869. I'm going to present contribution e-commerce to the GDP of Malaysia. In 2050, mobile-friendly B2C and C2C e-commerce marketplace Shopee and GoShop is introduced to Malaysia officially. In 2016, Malaysia National E-commerce Strategy Roadmap has been launched and aimed to double the country's e-commerce growth by 2020. This factor has caused e-commerce in Malaysia experience increasing trend from 2016 to 2019. As can be seen from the figure, for the period of 2016 to 2019, the value added of e-commerce in Malaysia increased from 95.6 billion to 127 billion, which means value added of e-commerce in 2019 is 32.8% higher than value added of e-commerce in 2016. Where the contribution of e-commerce to the GDP increased from 6.1% in 2016 to 8.4% in 2019. It increased by 2.3%. We can conclude that both value added and contribution of e-commerce to the GDP in Malaysia is increasing throughout the years. Next, I will talk about forecasting value of e-commerce in Malaysia from 2019 to 2024. Consumer payment system in Malaysia has been restricted by the COVID-19 pandemic as consumers shift from offline to online shopping. Consumers increased their online shopping due to lockdown and social distance. The figure shows that forecasting value of e-commerce in Malaysia from 2019 to 2024. In general, the value of e-commerce in Malaysia is expected to increase in the future with a decreasing growth rate. From the figure, it can be seen that the value of e-commerce in Malaysia is forecast to increase from 24.2 billion in 2019 to 51.6 billion in 2024, increase in a total of 113.2%. Although there is a decreasing trend in the growth rate from 2020 to 2024, but it is expected to remain in positive figures, which means the value of e-commerce will keep on increasing year to year. This forecasting is feasible as the Malaysia Digital Economy Corporation (MDEC) aims to have 875,000 micro, small and medium enterprise adopt e-commerce by 2025 under the new National E-commerce Strategy Roadmap 2.0, which is NESR 2.0. The corporation said that this roadmap also seeks to boost e-commerce export adoption to increase the average revenue per user to 9,500. In conclusion, to develop e-commerce in Malaysia, there are some actions must taken by Malaysia. First of all, Malaysia needs to develop a dynamic environment for its digital economy that include infrastructure, law, skill, and public finance improvement. Besides that, Malaysia also needs to speed up effort to improve internet access for all Malaysians, so that there is a fast and affordable internet connections for companies and homes. Last but not least, they need to improve human capital by providing better curricula and chances for lifelong learning, and support more dynamic private sector funding so that digital entrepreneurs may bring their innovative to market. The Malaysian e-commerce market has been registering growth during the last few years, which has been further accelerated by the COVID-19 pandemic. This comes with the growing consumer preferences for online shopping, availability of customized online payment options, and government support will further drive e-commerce market in Malaysia. That's all from us. Thank you.